A door bursts open, bloodied hands, gasping breath, and a single whispered word. Run. Hey everyone, I'm Kelfecil, professional narrative and game designer, and today we are going to go deep into a tool that can supercharge your storytelling, the cold open. The moment where the players are thrown into the scene with no preamble, no long exposition, no 5 strangers walk into a tavern, and, well, just an instant urgency, instant tension. If you've ever wondered how to begin your adventures with a bang, or better yet, with blood, betrayal, or screaming sky, well, this one's for you. The term cold open comes from film and television. It's a scene that plays before the intro credits roll, the one meant to hook you before the title card even drops. But in ttrpgs, it's a lot more potent. A cold open in an RPG is when you begin a session in media res, right in the middle of the action, with no lengthy backstory or info dump. You throw players into what could be a crumbling bridge under their feet, a duel already underway, a heist in progress, or a mysterious escape. The why comes later. Right now, it's all about the what. The reason why cold opens work is because they demand immediate attention. No room for mobile phone distractions and no slow warm-ups. The table snaps into focus. They also activate curiosity. Players want to know why things are happening, and that keeps them engaged as you gradually peel back the layers of the story. The reason why cold opens are so effective is because they're instant stakes, where danger is real, it's right now. There is character agency, where players act, and they do not just define their roles beforehand, they actually allow it to become something as they play through it. This also leads to more dynamic play. And last but not least, there is also natural world building this way, because you sow, you don't tell. You let the world bleed into the scene instead of summarizing it in words. So let's talk about some of the components that make for a pantsy yet memorable cold open. You start with action. You do not set up, you don't begin with a meeting, you begin with motion. You immediately make something that has already gone wrong. Secondly, you let the players react. You reveal and you do not explain anything. You let them guess and ask and try to fill in the blanks themselves, basically. That's more or less engagement gold. 3. You anchor it to the campaign. Well, eventually at least. Well, yes, it's mysterious, but it should still tie into the themes and the arcs of your story. It should, because otherwise it's just flair, right? 4. Use senses. First sights, sounds, and smells. What do they feel? Before giving them a name or a reason, give them an experience. And 5. Make it unskippable. This is your first impression. Don't make it optional, make it actually matter. So, there are a lot of tested structures that can actually work as a cold open, and this could maybe inspire your next explosive beginning. The flash forward sow, where a scene from the future, maybe with a climax or something. Let players live it, then cut back to black and rewind. The escape, where the party starts running, maybe from jail, maybe from a collapsing temple or something. They don't know how they got there, but they know they are running. The possession, where each player is briefly possessed by a past spirit, and they maybe see fragments or memories and warnings, then it's gone. Well, that's a very usual thing that you see in Cthulhu, for example. Or maybe the disaster, a natural or arcane catastrophe, a city crumbling, moon screaming, and fires in the sky. The chase, where you're being pursued. You don't know why, but the people behind you are armed and they are very fast and very angry at you. Or maybe the job that has already gone wrong, which is the usual kind of like RPG thing, right? A heist that is mid-flow and the betrayer has already been betrayed. So now what? So here are a few of my favorites from stories that I've already published. In Mother's Call, the party is lured by whispers into the mountains. They don't just start in a town. They begin at the edge of the Ice Mother's blizzard. No explanation, no map, just cold and the sound of something watching. In War Warrior, players encounter a kneeling figure at a shrine. He doesn't rise, he just whispers prayers to a moon goddess. The air hums with stillness and then the wind shifts. With it, something dark descends from the warrior's once holy home. Or in the Library of Stars. No townsfolk, no quest board, just a celestial storm cracking the sky above an ancient ruin. Lights beam from within, and time stutters, and the party is already inside, holding a book that hums with a forgotten language. Of course, sometimes you may need that slow burn. If your players are brand new, or your world is especially complex, a gentler introduction might help. Cold opens also don't work well in the case that, well, your players need more context in order to care, or you're running a political thriller of some sorts and needs setup, or the tone is more of that of mystery and chaos. Well, but in most cases, you can cold open and still give exposition later. Cold opens don't eliminate world building, they rearrange it. Instead of starting with backstory, you reveal it piece by piece. You could have NPCs that fill in the blanks down the line, you could have visions that show past events, you could have enemies that recognize the party, and then the party needs to start to get to know those enemies. Players investigate their own mystery, or any other kind of thing that basically builds on top of that cold open. This not only maintains immersion, but it also increases it. Players feel like detectives, not readers. A great design tip that I give when it comes to cold opens is allowing the cold open to telegraph a theme. So for example, if your campaign is about curses, you could start with someone screaming from a curse. Or if it's about political betrayal, you could open with a knife in the back of someone important. Let your opening moment echo what the story will become. Also very important is that you should let the players change how the scene ends. Just because it's a cold open doesn't mean it's a cutscene. They should influence the outcome. That makes it theirs. Cold opens are more than just gimmicks. They're invitations. They're the slam of a door or the crack of a thunder. They tell your players, you're not watching, you're in it. When they're done well, they can actually accelerate immersion and amplify the stakes. They invite curiosity and they anchor the theme in a very, very strong manner. So next time you're tempted to write a page of lore for your opening scene, well, maybe try just a scream instead. So that's all for today, and as always, thank you for watching, and have you ever run or played through a memorable cold open? If you have, then feel free to share with us below in the comments. I want to hear how you kick things off. So if you like this, hit that like button and subscribe if you would like to keep up with more of my weekly narrative design videos and maybe even more in the future. If you want more tools and content for adventure design or just want straight up adventures, then you'll be happy to know that I also run my own Patreon page with tons of monthly releases. As always, a huge thank you to all of my patrons who support what I do, and until next time, may Starlight guide your way, my friends. Bye bye!